What's up, guys? Well, we just got episode 8 of Dexter New Blood. We got 2 more episodes until this season, and maybe even this show is done for good. And now it's safe to say it is off to the races. We are full on in the climax of this season. All of the things are coming to a head now. All the storylines that they've already set up, all the characters know who each other are for the most part, and we're heading into the final battle, final confrontation between Dexter and Kurt. And this was a really good episode. This was one of the better ones of the season, I will say, because it was very focused, but it also did something that we have never seen in any Dexter season, which is to put Dexter as the hunted for basically an entire episode. I can't think of one episode where he has been running away from somebody for a full hour. And that was a cool little storyline to take with him, to show different ways that he's trying to lose this guy, different ways that it fails. But overall, not really a whole lot of complaints in this episode. So going down the line, the 2 major storylines that are kind of going concurrently is the one that I was already talking about, where you have, with the teaser that was left, the cliffhanger that was left at the end of the last episode, where the guy that works for Kurt tries to kidnap Dexter. And it was funny because as soon as the episode opened and they showed that he was just being shackled by zip ties and that was it, I was like, couldn't he just strangle the shit out of that guy? That's a really stupid plan, and that's the first thing that he does. This is just fucking Glasgow smiles the guy, and that was a really cool way to get out of the car. And then it's just full sprint into these snow-covered woods for the rest of the episode, to where he's been shot, he's tired, he's cold, and this guy, who's presumably a hunter alongside Kurt, is pursuing Dexter the entire episode. And I love that little detail. I don't know if it was meant to be an homage or not, but I love that detail that was very reminiscent of the third act of The Shining, to where Dexter gets to this creek and he steps backwards into his little snow tracks and goes all the way backwards to try to throw this guy off of his trail. And I thought it was even more clever to have the guy show up and be like, "That's the oldest trick in the book, bitch! I'm coming for you!" And he's like, "Fuck, that didn't work either." Leading all the way to this little cabin confrontation at this abandoned campground. There's like a little bit of a nod to Camp Crystal Lake or Friday the 13th there from Dexter, which was another really cool nod there to classic horror. And he gets the upper hand and then hightails it over to where Kurt has Harrison. And all the while all this is going on, you have Kurt very much trying to fill the void that Harrison is just agonizing for, which is that father role, that mentor, somebody that connects with him.
Look, all I'm trying to say is that you are who you are. Find what gives you joy, and you do that thing. No apologies. Whatever it is that brings you pleasure in this world.
And all throughout the episode, it's something that was very sad, because you feel like these 2 characters would just be really good friends, and if you didn't know that Kurt had nefarious plans, it would be something that you would actually want Harrison to have. Because despite the fact that he's been kind of an annoying prick through most of this season, despite I understand 100% where he's coming from, as entertainment value, it's been a little bit one note from that character. I want him to kind of get that void that he's been looking for, because he's had a hard upbringing. I understand all of the things that are like haunting him. And it was cool seeing him and Kurt break into the school, Kurt give him some history on his son and some history of the school, and he's like, "Hey, it's fun to be bad, isn't it?" And kind of, teasing that little bit of a dark side of Harrison. They get to the batting cages and they're having a good time. He's teaching them how to bat, and then Harrison starts not really enjoying, but like wanting to get hurt to like punish himself, leading all the way to their scene at the cabin where they're talking over dinner and sharing stories. And it was a little bit heartbreaking, even though I knew it was coming. It was heartbreaking when right after he tells Harrison, like, "If I was your father, I would have never abandoned you." And you can tell that it doesn't hurt Harrison, but like it just affects him. Like him saying that was just like, "Oh fuck, that's my weak spot." And he almost doesn't even know what to say at that point. And then immediately follows that up by going in the back and putting on his kill gear and telling Harrison to run for his life. And it was just like, fuck, dude, could you do that any more brutal? That was amongst the most brutal shit that I've seen from Kurt, despite the fact that he has shot people in the face and punched, dead women's skulls and everything. Him doing that to Harrison, I was like, ooh, this motherfucker's cold-blooded. And it was a really great way to end the episode with Dexter coming onto the scene right as Kurt is, sending off Harrison, presumably to his death. And now Kurt is on the run. Now Dexter and Harrison are fully teamed up. They understand each other. Dexter is finally starting to let some of the details out. I don't know if we're going to get that scene in the next episode where he lets him know all these details, or if it's going to happen between episodes and we just got to see kind of the intro paragraph of it. But nonetheless, as soon as he starts to confide in his son that he's not alone, he just gives him this big embrace. And that was something where I'm like, fucking finally! All damn season, I've been waiting for them to just connect on something. Now we finally have it. So I really enjoyed those two concurrent storylines going on. All the while you have the sheriff, Dexter's girlfriend. I can never remember her damn name. I need to look it up. Pause. Angela. Angela. So Angela, all throughout this episode, is slowly starting to get these suspicions of Jim or Dexter. And I was a little bit mixed on this element, to be honest with you. I mean, I understand where they're going. Eventually, she's going to find out enough details to confront him on it. If this is the final season of Dexter, I'm sure she's going to find out as he dies or whatever the fuck they decide to wrap up this show with. Hopefully they do it right. But I felt like some of the things that were getting her spidey sense going and sending her on these little rabbit trails were a little bit of a stretch. I mean, she finds out that Jim beat the shit out of this drug dealer after her son OD'd, and she's like, that's peculiar. And I'm like, why? That's pretty fucking reasonable for me. Nonetheless, she goes, interviews this guy, finds out that he's got a needle mark, and then that leads her down the rabbit trail of finding the guy that was actually killed in that episode and realizing that he has a needle mark. And then she decides to search online and goes immediately to drawing conclusions about the Bay Harbor Butcher. And so, I don't know, that whole storyline with her seemed a little bit fast-cooked to me. It seemed a little bit rushed, where I think I would need like a couple of episodes of her looking into certain things before I would believe that she would just put all this together herself. But nonetheless, we only have 3 episodes left, so she needs to start putting the pieces together somehow. It was fine. And really, that's about it there is to discuss in this episode. Just those 3 storylines, the 2 main ones, and Angela. And, for the most part, I liked all of them. I think that this is a good spot to put us for the last couple episodes of this season. Still feels like it took a little bit too long to get here, but again, I'll withhold a lot of my judgment of this season overall until we get to the end. But I'm glad that we're finally here. I'm glad that we're here to where Kurt is full-on villain. Dexter knows for a fact he's coming for him. Kurt knows for a fact that Dexter knows that he's coming for him. And now we should have 2 very explosive final episodes, hopefully, of this series. Or first season, we'll see. But nonetheless, I enjoyed this one. So what do you guys think down below on episode 8 of Dexter New Blood? Did you like this episode? Did you prefer having them just focus on these 2 storylines? Or did you like having a lot more different characters with the kids at school and the podcast girl and all of that? Let me know all of your thoughts, and where do you think the end of this season is going? Do you feel like this is going to be the end of the show, or do you think that this is setting up a new show? Let me know that down below as well. And as always, guys, please like and share this video. Hit the subscribe button. We got 2 more reviews of this season, and then I'm going to do an overall season review. I'm going to rank all the seasons of Dexter and Dexter New Blood, and then I'm going to rank all of the main villains. So if you're a Dexter fan, don't miss out on any of that. Thank you guys for watching as always, and remember, opinions are like assholes, but that doesn't mean that you have to be.